Question: is there a direct correlation between wealth and contentment? Let's talk about this. Back in a minute. Good morning. This is Jan from New York City. My channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money, and I truly love helping people keep some more of their own hard earned money. Could that be you? Is there a connection between contentment and wealth? You know what I think it is? I think there are a number of factors in answer to that question. First of all, let's take away the word wealth for just 1 minute and instead replace it with peace of mind. That kind of sort of changes the flavor a little bit. Contentment and peace of mind, those two are completely related. They are like literally pretty much married to each other in the verbiage sense of the word. Honestly, contentment and peace of mind. How do we get peace of mind? Well, some ways include making sure that we live a debt free life. That's, again, an opinion, but I believe it's kind of a fact. So that the way is clear, the pathway is clear. Making sure that you have and earn an income that meets your needs and a little bit more than that, okay? Knowing that all of your bills are paid easily, even if you do use your short term loan, otherwise known as a credit card, you know that you will immediately pay it off with your money. And for those that don't know, credit card loans are short term loans. They are not your money, they are the money of the bank. I remember a long time ago, actually, there were two or three different people that did this. I don't know why they thought this was like status quo. They would like open up their wallet and just show like 10 credit cards, sort of like in a showing off kind of manner. And I'm like, okay, so you have more access to debt, is what I said. And they looked at me like, what? First of all, you don't go around showing off your credit cards. I think that's silly. That's just my opinion. Anyway, let's go back to peace of mind. Peace of mind helps you to become content. I know a lot of people that earn a lot of money. They earn a lot of money. Some of them manage it very, very well, invest it, they're A-OK. And yet I have heard of and I have known a few people, maybe they get a great income, but honestly, they don't know how to manage their money. And I know in my opinion, and I know of some people who have a fraction of that income, know how to manage their money. They are not in debt, not one thin dime in debt, and they're saving. Now, may not be in the huge, huge scale, like if you're going to talk about it on a grandiose level scale, but guess what? They are content as opposed to some people who have a lot of incomes, but for whatever the reason, their ducks are not lined up in a row financially. And I don't blame the person entirely because honestly, there is a huge lack in financial education, and it really should start at home and start as early as possible. And then the schools should pick it up and make it up for the many homes that, for whatever the reason, don't take the time to go over financial importance. This is again something that would be very helpful. So I don't blame anyone entirely, but here's the beautiful news. It's never too late. And we have a ton of information, a plethora of information out there. Just by watching the news. Now, I'm not saying dwell on the news. I do get caught up with the news myself sometimes, and I have to literally pull myself away because a lot of the news is like, well, it's just like negative information. However, There are very important financial informational type of news stories out there. I say take a minute and listen. Take a minute and pay attention to what is going on around you. But I also know this much, that if one learns how to adapt to the frugal mindset, not a lack mindset, but a frugal by choice, wanting to live a quality life mindset on purpose with great intention, honestly, what goes on around us in the world has very little impact because your lifestyle truly doesn't change. Like, I have to laugh when I hear some people, whining, crying, and complaining that they can't go out for that fancy steak dinner somewhere as often as they used to. Well, 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 what a shame. When I personally am content with, let's say, making a beautiful steak dinner at home for two, for a fraction of the cost. Or I am totally content with taking down some of my chuck roast or stew meat, okay, and while it is semi frozen, slicing it down into thinner pieces, and then I put it in my slow cooker for a few hours while I work from home. I'm getting a couple of things done. So that's in the time management field. And I know how some people could care less about that, but I care a lot about it because once you lose your time, you don't get it back. I don't know why people dismiss time management. No one's telling anyone what to do. I'm just sharing how I feel. I feel good when I'm getting more than one task done at the same time. I feel good that that's already finished. I'm not tempted to make that phone call and have to kerplunk X number of percentage dollars on a tip. I can save and have saved and will always save money cooking my food the way I want to at home. Am I against those convenience foods? No, I'm not. If you could get some bags, and I get them myself, like those nuggets, like the chicken nugget type bag, or one of my favorite things is chicken pot pie. And sometimes they're as cheap as $1, like $1 for dinner. Are you kidding me? Or $2 to feed two people like dinner? That has everything in it, and I could have a piece of fruit and I could call that meal a day. And especially on those chilly nights where I don't mind using my oven for a half hour, 32 minutes to be precise. And by the way, I am a connoisseur of chicken pot pies just for the fun of it. There are some that cost a lot more money and they're worth every penny. If you could get those on a sale, get a couple on sale. And I consider those the treat ones. But then there's ones that are like, well, it filled me up. The crust isn't too bad. The inside could be a little bit better, but you could always doctor it up. You want to know what I do with those? The dollar one, I bump it up to the next level. When it comes out of the oven, I take a piece of my favorite cheese, maybe melt some cheddar cheese on it. I just let it sit on the top. Dinner for $1? Easily? No tip included, no dragging out to the restaurant, not having to get dressed, not having to wait online or sit in a car. To me, shortcuts are okay if they're within your budget. Is it healthiest eating every single day? No. No, there's no guarantees on anything we're eating, even the stuff you spend a lot of money for outside. No guarantees. But let's get back to contentment and wealth. I think the true contentment comes from, well, in my case, my personal faith, which is very important to me. That's number one. Next, it's how I look at life. I choose to look at life in a positive manner, no matter what, because I know things will always get better at the end of the day. And to have my bills paid and a roof, and anytime I want to eat something nicely, it's there. I do not take it for granted. And to be able to have a little bit more to put away, etc., etc., etc. How do you feel about wealth and contentment? What do you do with your special meals or how to save a buck or two? Please do share this in the comment section below. Have an amazing, fantastic day, everybody. Take good care. Thank you for your time.